There we go. So parallel position, feet are underneath hips, are underneath shoulders. Roll those shoulders a couple times. Opening up that chest, creating some space across the front of the chest right there. Very nice. And let those shoulders settle in. Let's bring our attention to our core, this bit between our hip bones and our belly button. It's the center of our core there. We really want to think about being engaged and active in our core the whole time. So instead of being an open shape, we want to be a nice closed diamond shape right here. So instead of arch in the back, we want to be nice and supported and closed. Awesome. So once we've got some heat generating, some warmth right there, let's go ahead and start warming up. We're going to take our hips and we're going to hinge them back and then stand it back up. And I'm going to show the side too. So hinging those hips a little bit back and back up. So I'm doing my demi, my little squat. I'm just starting to introduce some movement into the body. Not a full squat yet, but my weight is in my heels. Go ahead and see if you can wiggle your big toe a little bit. Make sure that you're not putting weight onto the toes, but the weight's in the heels, so we can wiggle those big toes. Nice work. Thinking about the knees tracking straight in the same line as your feet. So we don't want the knees to wobble in or out. We want them to stay in that nice straight line, like there's skis on them. We're just staying right in line with those skis. Good. Couple more. Checking in with the core, making sure belly button is drawing towards the spine, and there's no arch in the back, but we're nice and supported through that core. Nice work. Go ahead and take a little look down as you go, and make sure that you can see your big toe at the bottom of the shape, and that the knees aren't blocking it. If the knees are blocking it, we're putting pressure on that joint. We want to make sure we're protecting that joint. Still in our demi squat for 4 more. 4 and 3. Tighten cores. 2. We're going to hold at the bottom. 1. In my demi squat, hold. Nice and engaged. Checking my form. Taking a look. Wiggling my big toes. All right, squeeze it up. Nice work. You can step through a couple times. Hopefully starting to get a little blood flow going. We are going to go to our second position now. So to find our second position, we put toes and heels together. We rock forward and back, forward and back. As we rock onto the heels, you let the feet open up so that the toes come in this little like piece of pie shape. That's what we want right there. So we never want to step into it. We're putting pressure on the joints when we do that. So a nice way to get into our first position is just to take that little rock as we open. All right, from here, we're starting in our second position. So that's those feet, our little pie feet, just nice and wide, nice wide stance. Drawing that core in, checking back in with that core, nice and tall through the top of the head, and we take our demi and up. So this is demi plie now. Plie is to bend. Demi is the little one, so we're taking a small bend. Nice work. Still engaging through that core, nice and strong. And we're working in the vertical plane here. Unlike when we do a squat where we hinge, in our plie, we're working that vertical. Nice work. We're still in our demis, we're just starting to get warm, introducing movement into the body. Thinking about inner and outer thighs. So can we squeeze those thighs together as we come up? Nice work, so that energy is drawing us up. No arch in the back, but we're nice and supported. Working in that vertical plane. Don't forget to breathe. We're still taking our demis for 4 more. Let's go for 4 and 3 and 2. At the last one, we're gonna hold at the bottom and hold. Very nice work. Really stretch your feet against the ground. Make sure they're not tightened up. They're nice and flat against the ground. Core is tight, chest is proud. We hold for 3, 2, 1. Squeeze those inner thighs. Nice work. So back to our parallel position. Heels underneath hips, underneath shoulders. We're nice and stacked. Core is engaged. All right, we're gonna take it back to our full squat now and squeeze it up. So we did our demi squat in the first round. Now we're just taking a slightly bigger movement. So same form, we're just hinging those hips a little further back. If it's comfortable for you, you can always find your demi squats, bring it back to here at any point. If you want to, now we're taking a slightly bigger movement, but the form isn't the same. Form is the same. So weights in those heels. Core is engaged. Belly button towards spine. No arching backs. If we look down at the bottom of our squat, we should still be able to see our big toes. No weight on the knees. Nice work. Let's take 2 more like that. 2. Last one, we're gonna hold at the bottom. Good. Check your form. Belly button to spine. Weight in the heels. Hinge those hips back 1/2 inch. Bring those arms back. We are pulsing the backs of the hands towards the sky to get those triceps. So we're working the backs of the arms here, and we're holding in our squat to get a little burn, a little warm up. Nice work. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way up. Bring those hands up. And now we're going to take it back to the triceps. Bring it all the way up. Take it back to the triceps. So we're getting a nice little stretch through the full body as we go. I'll show the side view and the front view. Bring it all the way up. Take it all the way back. Squeeze the backs of those arms. Hinge those hips. Weights in the heels, not the toes. You can do this as a full squat or as a demi squat. Form is the same. It's just a slightly bigger movement. These are the last 4. Bring it up. And 3. Bring it up. Nice deep breaths. 2. Last one, we hold at the bottom. Hold. Take those triceps one more time for 8, 7, 6, 5. Tighten the core. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze everything up. Nice work. Shake it out. Wiggle it out. Awesome job. Hopefully we're feeling a little warm now. We're getting there. We've got the last set in our warm-up. We're going to take it back to our second position, so you know how to get there. Rock it back and forward. When we rock on the heels, we open our feet to a little pie shape, and then we step them nice and wide. So we're here in our second position. Let's start with the hands on the hips, and I want us to, once again, check in with the core. Are you arching? Is this diamond open, or are you nice and engaged? Shortest distance between hip bones and belly button. Nice and strong. Close that diamond. All right, and we drop now to our grand plie, our full plie, our big plie. So same movement like we just did in our demi, but now it's a bigger range of movement. So we take that bend a little deeper. Form's the same. Nice work. We're working inner and outer thighs. So squeeze those thighs together to draw you up. And again, how deep you take it is completely up to you and what your body's telling you today. So just pay attention to the body, make sure that we're listening, and you can take it as big or as little in that bend as we want. 2 more. Core is engaged, chest is proud, hold at the bottom. Nice work. Arms come up, flip the palms so they face the sky. We're gonna draw our elbows into the sides and extend them out. Sides and out. So we're working triceps and shoulders right here. So the backs of the arms and the shoulders. We're getting that nice posture. Nice work. We've got 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Nice work. Bring it all up. We're gonna take one last set, but we're gonna combine them now. So as we plie, we bend. As we extend, we straighten everything. So draw those elbows in towards the sides, extend them out, palms to the sky. Core is nice and tight. Extend it out. You can take it demi, or you can take it bigger. Last one, hold, 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 extend it out. Nice work, walk those feet in, paddle through the feet a couple times. That's our warm up. So if your body needs a little extra attention anywhere, go ahead and take that right now. Wiggle it out. So using our chair or a wall for our bar here, we're gonna work on our plie. And I want us to work in first position. So we just did second and we did parallel. We're gonna work first right now. So let's go ahead one more time. Toes and heels together, rock forward and back onto the toes and heels. As we rock onto the heels, we open the feet. So we're in first position. And again, really important that we don't step into first because you're putting a lot of torque on the knee and the hip, and it's letting go of your core, which is not what we want. Everything's connected in the body, right? So we want to make sure we're really thinking about our alignment. when we're in here together. Great. So check in with yourself. Your piece of pie might be narrow or it might be really wide. That's just dependent on what your hips do, so kind of how our bodies are built. So either way, we got our little piece of pie, whatever it is. You're imagining that you have strings, ribbons that attach to your heels, and they wrap around your leg all the way up to the top of the hip. We've got them on both legs. They wrap around and around and around and around. So I want you to pull those ribbons at the hips, nice and strong, and everything in the leg goes, all those muscles have to engage all the way up. So we're nice and supported here. Excellent work. Let's go ahead, we're gonna take one hand on the bar. Bar is there to support us, not to lean on. So if at any point you find yourself really gripping, go ahead and relax, shake it out, come back. We want to always train in a way that's facilitating something. So we're going to take the fingertips of the other hand and we're going to lightly rest them on our shoulders. Right. So we are going to take plie, straighten, releve, coming off the heels. So the plie to bend, right? We bend those knees, keeping heels on the ground. We come back up, and then we releve to raise, lifting the heels as we raise onto the balls of the feet. Back down. Plie and straighten, releve, and heels down. Plie and straighten, releve, and down. Check in with your core. Do we let our diamonds go, or are we nice and supported? Shortest distance between hip bones and belly button. Releve and down. Now I know some of you guys are regulars in this bar class, so if you choose, you can take your hand off the bar and focus fingertips lightly on the shoulders and our plie releve. That's just if you're a regular and you feel really secure and you want to work on that balance challenge. So I'll show both. Core is tight, no arching in the back. Let me show to the side one time. Plie and straighten, releve, and down. As we releve, we lift from the top of the head. So what that means is my legs, those ribbons are wrapped, they're all engaged the whole way. Nice work. 3 more. Core is tight, releve, heels down. Last 2. Bring it up. Heels down, last 1. Plie, releve, and hold. All of us are gonna bring the other hand off. Pull up, nice and strong through those legs. Holding, holding, core is tight. Chest is proud. 3, 2, 1. Put those heels down, plie. Nice work. Shake it out for a moment. Bring it into parallel, paddle it out. In our plie position, we're working a lot of that inner thigh. We're working on that rotation, right? So you might be feeling it a lot there. You can just shake it out a little bit. All right, nice work. So we got our plie releve in first position. We're gonna take it to another position in the body. We're gonna take it to second. So again, we find when we're ready, our first position, turn those feet out. And in second, same little pie shape, we just take it nice and wide. Good. So once we've got our second position, check the core again. Always engage through the core, right? We never want any pressure on the low back in this arch to the back. We really want to be engaged. This is a great, just to think about if you're in line at the grocery store or wherever, thinking about, am I using my core? Great little check-in to make sure the core is active and engaged. Keeps pressure off the low back. All right, second position, we're gonna take those fingertips to the shoulder. Let's take both fingertips to the shoulder in second. I think all of us can do that very comfortably. And we're gonna take our little demi-plie and straighten, and same thing, releve. We raise those heels onto the balls of the feet and down. Demi-plie and straighten, raise up onto the balls of the feet and down. Nice work. Check the core, are you nice and engaged? If you need the cue, we can put our hands over the belly to make sure that we're not arching. So it's a nice way to like check in with our body, make sure we're listening to it. Awesome job. Plie and straight, releve and down. Nice work. Plie and straight, really feeling those inner and outer thighs, feeling those calf muscles as we raise it up. Remember, you've still got those ribbons wrapped, right? Pulled nice and tight. So we've got nice engagement up the full legs as we lift. Core is supported, chest is proud. Awesome job. 4 more. We've got 4, Squeeze inner thighs, lift. And 3. Squeeze inner thighs, lift. Core is tight. 2. Last one, are you breathing? Don't forget to breathe. 1. Squeeze it up and hold. And hold. Open those arms out to second. Squeeze those legs nice and tight. Core is engaged, head is lifted, and plie it down. Nice work. Take those feet back in, shake it out, wiggle it out. Let's give ourselves a quick calf stretch. So facing our bar, one heel back, press that heel long, bend the front knee to get a little calf stretch right there. On those releve raises, we get a lot of activation in the calf. And we worked through first and second, so we got a lot inner and outer thigh too, which is great. Gently step it back in. Right leg back, heel down, bend the front knee. Hips are squared to my bar, to my chair. Nice breath here, stretching it out. Awesome work. Whew. Breathing and, all right, stepping in. Paddle through a couple times. Please make sure that you're drinking water. If at any point you want to grab some water, go ahead, drop everything, do that. That's really important. Let's take our tendus. So we're gonna come back, and we're gonna let's roll the shoulders a couple times in case we're carrying any tension from the day in there. Really nice proud chest. We are going to take our tendus. So from our first position again, we rock, we open our feet up to our little pie wedge. We check in with the core, hip bones to belly button, nice and engaged. We wrap our ribbons around our leg, we pull them up, so you're getting all of that nice activation. We're standing still, but we're already engaged, right? We already have a lot happening in terms of our strength, which is great right here. Okay, so in our tendu, we are going to straighten the outside leg. So I've got one hand on the bar. My outside leg is going to draw along the floor until only my big toe is touching, and kind of like I have like gum on the bottom of my shoe. I don't want to pick it up and place it, right? There's gum attaching it, so I'm dragging it to the big toe. Nice work. Drag it to the big toe. I'm going to show this way too so you can see the side. Straight leg, I drag it to the big toe. I close it back. I drag it to the big toe. Nice work. So you've got that gum on the ball of the foot, and it's just all the way. Check in with the core. Are you arching or are you supported? Nice work. Hand on hip. It's a great way to check. Point that toe as we go. Drag till just the big toe is touching, and then drag back to the whole foot. 2 more, 2. Last one, hold it. We are gonna point the toe nice and hard so you're getting full engagement of the leg, and I want you to lift and tap. So we lift and tap. We lift and tap. Good work, keep going. Lift and tap, lift and tap. Check with the core. Are you pulled up? Belly button to hip bones. Are you twisting as you go? We want to try and square them off. Keep the hips nice and straight, and just isolate that inner thigh right here. We lift and tap. We lift and tap. Nice and tall, energy out the top of the head, like you have a little ornament string, a little Christmas tree ornament, and you're lifted up nice and tall, so we get full engagement. Hips are squared. 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1. Tap it down, close it out. Nice work. Go ahead and shake it out. You can do a couple little plies if that feels good. We are gonna do the exact same thing, but now we gotta take it to the back. So we did it to the front. We're taking our tendu to the back now. I'm trying to think how to show this. I'm gonna show to the side. So you can stand with one hand on the bar, just like you would have done to the front. You're gonna go the back now, but I'm gonna show this way so you can see my leg. So extend, gum is still on the ball of the foot. We extend, we drag until only the big toe is on the floor to the back now. Good work. So stretch it out to the back. Gum on the ball of the foot means we have to drag until only the big toe is touching, and then we drag it back in. So it's a lot of activation in that leg. Check in with the core. Are you letting go in the core? Or are we nice and supported? I'm gonna tuck my shirt in so you can see my hip bones a little bit better maybe there. And you can notice that we want our core to stay engaged and not expanded. So stretch it out and drag it back. Stretch that leg, gum on the foot, and back. And 2. Last one, and 1. Nice job. Engage, stretch. We are lifting and tapping. Lifting and tapping. Lifting and tapping. Stretch that toe. Point that leg nice and long. When you point the toe, you have to engage all the muscles in the whole leg, whereas if we have flexed or dead feet, we're not getting all that activation. Nice job. Check your core. Be nice and lifted. Check your hip bones. Are you tipping or tipping? Or are you keeping them nice and square? We're making the back of the leg and the glute med do the work. We've got, all right, so we're on the other side now. So we're gonna have the other hand on the bar. We're gonna find our first position. Little pie wedge of the feet, check in with the core. Imagine those ribbons, wrap around, and everything in the leg just goes nice and engaged and supported. I'm already feeling it in both the backs of my legs right now, hamstrings and glutes. You might be feeling that too. I'm sweating a little bit, right? We're just standing, but we got a lot going. Right here, we're gonna take our tendu, hand on the hip. So outside leg, draws, we've got gum on the ball of that foot, draws to the toe, and draws back in. So we stretch until just the big toes touching the ground. We point that foot, we draw it back in. Let me show this way too. And draw it back in. We don't want to let this wobbly bit in this core go, so we want to keep this nice and strong. As we stretch, Nice job. I think tendu means tension or stretch, is in the French word, which is the position of the body here that we're doing. 2 more, 2. Last one, stretch, core is engaged, nice and strong, chest is proud. We are gonna lift and tap, lift and tap. And again, we wanna try and keep the hips square so that the inner thigh has to really work, and then the glute of the standing leg is supporting us. We wanna try not to let the hip tip. We wanna keep them nice and square and really make that inner thigh do the work. Core is tight. Point those toes, stretch that leg. Nice work. You might feel it through the inner thigh of the standing leg too. Might get both inner thighs. We've got 4 more. We've got 4 and 3. Point those toes and 1. Nice job. Close it down. Wiggle it out. Shake it out. Good job. So that's front. And now we're gonna take it to the back as well. So again, you're gonna find your first position, one hand on the bar, open up those feet, wrap those ribbons around, everything nice and engaged, core is supported, rock star chest, we're feeling good. And I'm gonna face here so you can see my leg. We are gonna tendu to the back, so stretch until just the big toe is touching the ground, draw it back in. So when we go to the back, there's a lot more glute activation than to the front. Nice job. Check the hip bones. Are you letting your hips tip? Or are we trying to keep them mostly straight, making the hamstring and the glute do the work? Gum on the ball of the foot means we have to draw it out rather than just picking it up and placing it, right? We draw it out. Nice work. Hips are square. 2. Last one, hold it to the back. Pull up through the standing leg. Core is engaged. We lift and tap. Lift and tap. Lift and tap. Lift and tap. Check in that you're not letting this core arch, but that we're still pulled up. We're drawing hip bones and belly button together. Lift and tap. Lift and tap. Lift and tap. We've got 4. Stretch those toes. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Close it down. Go ahead and let's do our same parallel little shift side to side. Get through those glutes. Little wiggle right there. Awesome job. Paddle through the feet a couple times. Take whatever the body needs. Woo! We did our tendus. Go ahead and take a little rock side to side and make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall there so that we're not rounding into the low back right now. Awesome. From here, knees are facing the sky, chest is nice and proud. We're gonna lean it back gently and put the hands down to support us. Hands are there to support, but not to take all the weight. So what that means is we don't want to collapse into it. We really want to maintain this nice, proud chest. So we lean it back, and they're there just to support us and to stabilize us a little bit. Very, very nice. We're gonna do single leg. So you're gonna extend one leg straight, lift, and bend. Extend, lift, and bend. Extend, lift, and bend. Extend, lift, and bend. Let's go for 4, 3. Chest is proud, not collapsing into it. 2, 1. Nice job. Other leg. We extend, lift, and bend. Extend, lift, and bend. Check in. Are you rocking as you go? Can you stabilize it? So really bring mind to the muscle. Try to eliminate any rocking. We're nice and steady here. Making sure we're not collapsing into our arms, but they're just there to support us. Chest stays proud. Nice job. We're going for 8. So if you hit 8 already, or if you're on my count, this is our last one. And done. Nice job. Excellent, excellent. We're gonna go ahead and take it a little bit deeper. So now, I'm gonna scoot forward so you can see, we're gonna lean all the way back onto the elbows, placing those elbows on the ground. Go ahead and let that low back also flatten against the ground here. So I always imagine that I have like a rock that's sitting on, like not a crazy big rock, but just like a rock from a pond or something. It's like the size of your hand, sitting on my belly button as just a cue to make my core hollow out. We're getting this hollow core bit. Rather than extending and putting pressure onto my low back, just a little, imagine a little rock right there hollowing us out. Very, very nice. Okay, so we are going to do that same exercise, but we're gonna take a slightly bigger range of movement. So we extend, we lift, we take it down. We extend, we lift, we take it down. Extend, lift, 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 take it down. Switch, oops, extend, I almost reversed it. Take it down, extend, lift. Press that back down, no arching. Extend, lift, take it down. Extend, lift, take it down. Nice work, and 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna go on a little bit. We're gonna switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. Press that low back down, rock is on the belly. Nice job. This always makes me think of swimming. Some like sort of swimming in place vibe. Drop that low back to the ground. 3, 2, 1, and done. Nice work, everybody. Awesome job. Let's go ahead and flip it over onto our side. So gently rotate yourself over to the side. It's really up to you if you want to be on your forearm here, or if you prefer to sort of scoop the head. So whatever feels good for your body, you can try both. You can either put one arm down and just scoop the head in nice and small, or you can take a little forearm hold. If we're propped on our forearm, which is usually kind of the position I like, we want to make sure that our elbow isn't way torqued out or under our body, but it's in a nice 90-degree supportive piece so that we're not putting any pressure on the shoulder. Want to protect that shoulder and make sure it's 90 degrees right under, elbow underneath shoulder. And again, if you prefer here, I'll show both. Feet, hips, and head are in line. Knees break the line forward. So go ahead and just glance down your body. We want our heels, hips, and head all in a line and knees in front. Cue into the belly button right here. Let's make sure that we're drawing belly button towards the spine so we're not arching, right? Always engage through that core. If we're doing anything in here, the core is engaged. Nice work. And we're gonna take a little clamshell to start. So we're gonna keep these hips stacked and we're gonna keep the toes glued together. The big toes are glued together. And you're gonna open the knee up and close it down. So keeping those hips stacked, keeping those big toes glued. We're just opening up a little classic Jane Fonda clamshell. Still the best, still holds up. And we wanna just make sure we're not rocking, right? Because you're getting different activation there. We wanna just really work through that little shape, keeping the hips stacked, drawing belly button towards spine, or if you prefer here, it's the same thing, right? We're working that little clamshell shape. 2, and one. Nice work. All right, we're gonna go on. We're gonna extend this bottom leg straight long. And go ahead and stack both legs for right now. That's a good place to start. Extend both legs long. So now we've got heels, hips, head, still in one line, but the knees aren't breaking this time. We got them nice and long. Draw belly button to spine. And again, you can be here too, whichever you prefer. I'll show both. We're gonna draw in this parallel position, the foot up the side of the leg until it hits the knee, and then you're gonna extend it out. Knee and down. Draw it up to the knee, extend it out, foot back to the knee, draw it down. Whichever one you prefer here is fine. Nice work. So as we draw this foot up, this is passe position. We're just doing it on the floor. Développé is the extension. Foot back, we're going on. Now we're taking passe, we're turning it out. We're adding the clamshell. So turn it out to the clamshell, extend the leg, lower it down. Back to parallel. So parallel, hips are stacked. Rotate that clamshell. Extend the leg, drop it down, find the parallel again. Parallel, passe. Turn out that knee, find the clamshell. Core is tight. Développé, extend the leg, lower it down, stack your hips. Two more, turn it out. Développé, extend it down, stack your hips. Last one, core is tight, passe, clamshell. Extend it out, lower it down. Nice work. And let's take a last little challenge for ourselves. Hand here to brace ourselves. We're gonna lift both feet together if we can. Lift and lift and lift and lift. We've got 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Nice job. Relax it down. Go ahead and roll onto the back. Take a little stretch right here. Roll those ankles, roll those feet. Sorry, roll those ankles, roll those wrists. That's what I was trying to say. And then we're going to do the other side. So you can either roll over onto the other side or you can swing the legs around, whatever feels comfortable for you. We're going to do that whole sequence on the other side. So nice, again, we can find our 90 degree on the elbow, or we can just scoop that head. It's really the same, so it's whatever feels comfortable for you. We are going to take the knees bent. We've got heels, hips, head, all in a line. Go ahead and just glance down the body, make sure you're in a nice line. Check in with the core, always be engaged with the core. Draw belly button to spine. Never pressure on the back, right? We always want to protect the back. We're going to take it to our clamshell. Hips stay stacked, big toes stay glued together. We open that knee up and down. Core is engaged. So not letting the hip rock, but we're really making that leg do the work. Big toes glued, belly button to spine. I'll show this way too. Same piece on that clamshell. Nice work. 3 and 2. No rocking the hips. And 1. Excellent job. We're going to go on. So we're extend the top leg, extend the bottom leg. Go ahead and look down the body. Make sure you're in line. Heels, hips, head. No bend in the knees. And we're going to take our passe. So we draw the top leg, foot up the side of the leg until the foot hits the knee. Développé out in front. Back to passe, lower down. So it's really the développé. We got to use that core. We got to use that leg so we don't just tip it over, right? And down. Développé. I lost count, so we're going to do one more for good measure. Passe, développé, passe, and down. All right, now we're combining them. So we draw that foot up the side of the leg, passe. We take our little clamshell. We rotate out. We développé, we extend that leg, and then you carry it all the way down. Stack the hips back to parallel. Draw that foot up, core is tight, passe, clamshell, développé, extend it down, parallel. Nice work, core is tight, passe, turn it out to the clamshell, développé, extend that leg, carry it down, parallel. Nice job, draw it up. We squeeze through that outside edge of the glute, extend it out, carry it down, parallel. Nice work, core is tight, passe, clamshell, développé, send it down, last one, passe, clamshell, develope, extended down. Nice job. And then we're just gonna finish it out right here by lifting those two legs together, and we lift and lift. And the movement might be real small. They might not even come off the ground. The feet might not come off the ground, but we're bringing mind to the muscle. We're focusing. We're getting this oblique crunch, and we're getting those inner thighs. 2 and 1. Nice work. Excellent job. Go ahead and roll it over onto the back. Go ahead and shake it out a little bit. Roll those ankles. Roll those wrists. Excellent, excellent job. Whew, nice work. When you're ready, you can gently press yourself back over. And we are gonna bring ourselves up to a tabletop position. This is very much choose your own adventure. You can do a plank with the feet and the hands. You can do a plank with the forearms and the feet. We can also choose to do maybe one hand, one foot, opposite. Pick whichever one is right for you today. Remembering that we don't want to do anything that's going to hurt us. We want to make sure we're training in a way that's building something for us. So I'm going to choose forearms for myself. We are going to go for a 20-second plank hold. All right, we're going in 3, 2, 1. Find your plank position. We want long line. Go from heels to booty to back of the head. Squeeze those glutes. Actively press your heels away from you. Energy out the top of the head, energy out the heels. Tighten those quads to help support. Squeeze glutes, press heels away. Actively press against the ground, whether you're on your hands or on your forearms, either one, actively pressing against the ground. We're lifting for 3, for 2, for 1. Nice job. Go ahead and bring it back to our tabletop position. Go ahead and tap the tops of the feet against the mat a couple times. And on this next one, we are going to take one more plank hold. You can take your plank hold just like that, again, 20 seconds. Or if you choose, we are going to potentially add, if you want, a little knee dip. So let me show what that looks like so you can see. We would take our forearm plank, we'd find our plank position, and then I'd tap one knee down, the other knee down. Very gentle tap. No rocking in the hips. I'm nice and square, and I'm just really using these very low abdominals to do that. So choose your own adventure. Plank holds, opposite hand, opposite foot holds, or knee taps. We're gonna go for 20 seconds again. In 3, 2, 1, find your plank. Check your form, heels, booty, back of the head, one long line. Here we go, whichever one you're choosing. You're still working on that plank form first, making sure heels press away. Energy out the top of the head, energy out the heels. Squeeze those glutes. Actively resist the floor. Nice work. Don't forget to breathe. You're almost there. We've got 5 seconds. 3 seconds. 1. That's time. Nice work. Put our big toes together and let those knees sit a little bit wider than your hands. Sink it back into this little child's frog pose here. Let me show also to the front so you guys can see. I took big toes together, knees just a little bit wider than my hands, and then I sat my hips back. Just breathe here for a moment. One more nice breath. Length down the spine. Opening up that chest. Really, really great stretch for the low back. This is a great one if you sit a lot at your desk to just try and alleviate some of that low back pain. Nice work. Go ahead and gently bring it back up. Bring it back to your full tabletop so my knees are in line with my feet. I'm going to step my right leg gently up so that, let me move my hand so you guys can see. My heel is right underneath my hip, and I can choose to hold here, starting to get a little hip flexor opener, or you can drop that hip through by just leaning into it to deepen the stretch for that hip flexor. Nice work. Nice breath here. If you choose and you feel comfortable, you can either hold here or you have the option to add the hand reaching up, which deepens the hip flexor stretch even more. So pay attention to what your body is telling you today. This takes us further into the hip flexor and psoas. Whichever one you choose, we're gonna come back to our tabletop right now. Tap the backs of the feet a couple times, shake out that tension. Left leg is gonna step up right here. We can hold like this, right? This is perfect. Or if you wanna deepen the stretch, you let that hip drop through a little bit, breathing into that, a little deeper through the hip flexor. Even here, you're getting hip flexor stretch, so whichever one is right for your body in this moment. Breathing in all of them. You can release into that hip as you want. Really important for us to give our hip flexors some attention as well. They get shorter and tighter if we're sitting a lot or we're at a computer a lot. So we really want to create some length there. Everything's connected, right? So low back and those hip flexors, all of those pieces. If you choose and you want to take it deeper, you can bring the hand up for the psoas, or we can just hold here. This is great. Either one, we're not holding our breath, we're breathing. Hand down, take it back to your tabletop position, and then very gently you're gonna step your both feet up, keeping some bend in the knees, and I want you to go ahead and release that head for a moment. Release the jaw, whatever tension you've been holding in the jaw right there. Release the forehead. You can shake that head very gently out if you want. If you feel comfortable, you can take it a little deeper by sending hips towards sky. Completely up to you. You can keep a nice folded position, or if you want a little more stretch to the hamstring, you send hip bones towards the sky. Nice job. And all of us are slowly gonna walk the hands up the body, engaging through that core as we come. Nice and slow. We don't want to rock it off the ground. We want to make sure that we don't give ourselves a head rush. Excellent job. Coming to standing. Nice deep breath here. Excellent, excellent job. And if you've taken class with me, you know we got to finish the same way, which is with a bow, because you guys are all rock stars. You did the whole class, and we got here and we did something for our bodies, and that has to be celebrated. So shake it out for a moment, wiggle it out a little bit. All right, we're gonna take our little bow port de bras. So we're gonna step right foot and right hand, step to the side, left foot behind. And this is for the audience on the right side of the stage, right? We're on the big theater, and you take that bow, very nice. They're all applauding. And then there's everybody on the left side. We step left hand, left foot, right leg behind. Everybody in the balconies on the left side applauding, flowers are going, you take that nice big bow. And then we step back to center. We gotta acknowledge the orchestra, the front row, so we bring right hand up and out, left hand up and out, and then we take it towards the sky. Nice rock star chest, nice deep breath here, and we bow. Woo! Give yourself a little hug on the way down. Awesome job, you guys. You did it.